We are live right now. I am Doggie Diamonds of Doggie Diamonds TV. I'm here with Coco as usual.
Yep.
And we felt it was important to talk about the Charlamagne the God thing with the how you pronounce his broad name?
I say Tomi Lahren. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it. I don't know if that's me with an accent or if that's how she says it.
If that's politically correct. Well, I'm going to refer to her as that broad for now. But no, I'm going to say her name correctly, or Tomi Lahren, or however the fuck you pronounce it. People be mispronouncing my shit on purpose and on bullshit, but I don't have a titty attack about it. But it is what it is. All right, so you know, we had this conversation offline based off some tweets that Charlamagne put out there, and based off of us seeing them two together. I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, first, the above conversation is he wrong for like hanging with her, fucking with her, or is it like some photo op shit in your opinion? What you think?
I think that he's wrong for hanging with her. And I do think that there's nothing about Tomi Lahren to me that's redeemable. She doesn't have redeeming qualities. She's just a really nasty, negative person. She's racist. She's classist. She does not, you know, represent the people that in our audience here. And she's not good. Like she's there's no good in this woman, you know? So by hanging with her, I would just like to know, what do you think that proves, you know?
So all right, from Charlamagne's standpoint, I don't want nobody to think I'm defending him, because me and him is cool. We did interviews and with all that, but I want to know from a media standpoint from him. Is he not supposed to be around her to try to see where she's at mentally? How is he supposed to engage dialogue with her? Like, how is he supposed to do that? Or just fuck her, period?
If I was a Charlamagne and I was just genuinely looking to engage her and try to come to some kind of understanding, I don't actually even believe that should be done in some sort of like public view. I think that they could have had a private conversation to really try to gain some understanding. But I feel like when you take someone like her who just spews such nastiness on a constant basis, there's never going to be anything that comes out of that's going to be positive. Because even if you bring her on your platform, you speak to her, she's still going to keep those views and she's still going to say them, and you're going to say your views. And it's not even like on some agree to disagree shit. Like, you're really saying some crazy shit. You know, it's not defendable.
Do you think, though, in the day and time that we're in of the troll is in, like, anybody who trolls, anybody who says shit for shock value, they get popping off that shit. Do you think she really, really believes this, or is she just on some trolling shit because the trolls, unfortunately, are winning because most of them are not getting the shit smacked out of them, and it's a platform for trolling? Do you think it's more of a trolling thing with her, or she really feel like that? Now, before you answer that, because I even feel like if they brought her on the Breakfast Club, that's only helping her. So why would you help the troll? So what do you think? Do you think she's trolling, or she really feels like that?
I don't think she's trolling. I think that people underestimate the power of actual racism and actually terrible ass people. And I believe this woman really holds to these views, and she really thinks that this is how the world works. And so when you engage someone like that, and you're not even in a position to, let's say, change their minds or to influence them, then in my opinion, you look crazy. Like, I'm just trying to understand what the end game is at that point, because there's no point to engaging Tomi, to me.
So let me ask you something. Is it the language that she uses? Because I'm trying to understand this for myself and for my platforms. Is it the language that she uses that helps her get away with shit? Because obviously she's on a big station. She's on a big platform. Corporate America is sponsoring it. There's commercials in between what she says and does. So she's still, people are still paying for this. Is it that she doesn't use offensive language? What is it that allows her to get away with this, what she says and does on a national platform? Because, go ahead.
When you talk about Tomi Lahren, like when you look at her, she's like a, sort of a textbook Barbie doll, pretty, bottle blonde white girl. So because she has that aesthetic, she's able to say these things and still be like cutesy and cute to people and adorable. So she can basically say the same thing like a Rush Limbaugh can say, but because she also can wear like a bodycon dress and make those statements, like, people are more attracted to that message coming from her.
So you think, like, for me, I gotta like shave my face and put on a suit and fucking, you know, keep my hair cut and shit like that. Cause I'm just trying to figure out how does some people get away with it and some people like myself, I get called homophobic, racist, I get called all these names, but people like that are on national fucking TV saying the wildest shit ever, but she's not using certain words, I guess. Is it the words that offend people, or what is it that offends people? Is it certain keywords like nigga, faggot, or honky, cracker? Is it those words that you have to stay away from, in your opinion?
You don't even have to stay away. Like, you don't even have to use any of those words at all. You can just use divisive language by making statements about certain communities. When you start talking about like urban communities, and we start using coded language like ghettos or depressed, or, you know, you start talking about the prison system. Like, at that point,
remember the one that they loved the most was thug. White people love thugs.
These thugs, you know, it goes back to like this 80s statement when they were talking about the welfare queen. This one woman that was going around and she was the welfare queen in the Reagan era. That's like what he was using as like a platform that sort of makes, you know, this sort of ghetto mama that was walking around and just, you know, collecting all these welfare, you know, food stamps and so forth. Like, that was the sort of the idea that people had in their heads, that all of these poor people were all on welfare. They were all on the rolls just trying to get over. And that's just not true.
Even Hillary Clinton with the super predator thing. Remember that? Like, super predators. Like, what the fuck?
These are things that I never forgot. You know, what is a super predator? What are you talking about? Like, you know, the way people the way that I guess urban America, as they would put it, is described by white people, you would think that we would be afraid to leave the house. And when I live in Bedside, when I leave my community, I don't feel unsafe. You know, yeah. I don't feel that way.
So let me ask you something. So let's go back to the above of topic. Charlamagne, what do you think his goal is? Do you think some black men or many black men just naturally have this affinity for white women? What do you think it is?
I do think that there are black men that do. I mean, listen, if I'm just to pay attention to the media, and I look at, let's say, even like sports and entertainment figures, and I see the women that they end up with, I don't really see often men that end up with women that are my color, you know? They're not like women with like natural hair, or just, you know, they don't meet a certain sort of like a profile, you know? When I look at those women, they're always, you know, like light-skinned to, well, mostly white women, maybe light-skinned women, maybe they're like some kind of other or like ethnically ambiguous. So I do feel like, just based on the sample of what I see, it seems to me like once a person hits a certain tax bracket or hits a certain, I guess like sort of when they socially climb to a certain level, they no longer want to be with that black woman anymore.
Be your ass for a white girl. Kanye said it, and
Kanye said it. Kanye did exactly. Yeah. He did the same thing he said.
All right, so the other thing, he's hanging with her.
He's palling around with a racist. He's crazy. Who does that? Like, even if you are trying to, like, you know, do some advanced levels of trolling, as you were just saying, that's still really crazy. Like, even having to endure that conversation and hear that kind of conversation, even if you're trying to debate it or fight the hate with love or what have you, you're still sitting. It's like you're putting yourself in this position to basically like endure abuse. Why? What's the point of that?
Why are we the only ones that's trying to love people who have openly hated us for like fucking 700 years?
And exactly. And I'm not doing that. I mean, even in my own personal life, I don't have time for the bullshit. I ain't got time for the fuck shit. You say something crazy to me, I ain't talking to you. It's just that simple.
Especially if you said something crazy on a public platform, like you let it be known, fuck y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the other thing was that he said, do you have the tweet handy? Do you have?
I have the tweet handy, and I'm glad you said that, because this actually directly correlates to what we're talking about. And in the tweet, he says, "Would be dope if a young Black or Hispanic woke," he put in quotes, "woman use social media to create a platform to be a voice like Tomi Lahren did." Now, like, why would you say something like that?
Yeah. Now my issue with that is that there is no platform for, you know, well, you're on this platform, we speaking, you know, a lot of times we fuck around and we say a lot of shit in jest and we're having fun. That's why I didn't want to stream this live per se. I wanted to tape this because this was a serious conversation. I didn't want to get distracted. We say a lot of shit in jest and we bullshit, but if a woke Black woman tried to use social media or platform to speak, who was going to support it? Now, this is what I want people to understand. This was a point that I was making on Sonetta TV, and people took it as, I'm just cutting my mute on my phone. People took it as, you know, I was begging for money or talk about money. No, that's not what I'm saying. The point I'm making, like what I was asking you earlier, was if a woke black woman came and spoke about some of the things that a Tomi Lahren spoke about from a black woman's point of view, she would get tarred and feathered. Now, you would have black people who supported her behind the scenes. Yeah. But when it came to being out in the open and supporting that black woman, they would not do it. She would get called racist. She would get called a black feminist. She would get called everything under the sun. For one, because black people naturally just criticize other black people who speak up for black people. Also, there would be no funding in that. And what people don't understand is the point that I was trying to make on Sonetta was these corporations fund these messages from people. So again, Tomi Lahren is funded. She's corporate sponsored. You could see her in a fucking one of these big corporations commercials soon, like actual facts. Like she's going to be the spokesman woman or broad for something.
For yogurt or something, you know.
This is what I'm saying. But when a black woman does it, she gets called everything under the sun. And the first thing black people do, opposed to standing behind it, the first thing they do is try to break down why she's wrong based off whether she's too religious. Go ahead. I'll let you speak, because you are a black woman.
I'm a black woman. So I'll be honest with you, even just being on this platform, what I've even noticed that even just me speaking on this channel, and there are people that are going to watch this broadcast and they'll see it in themselves, people will be like, well, why is she talking? Why you got that girl on there? And I'm a black woman. Like, why can't I speak? Why can't I have a voice? But there are people even within our community, black men, that don't want any black women to have voices at all, you know? And that's even without me even having uttered a word in some instances. Or they're just like, oh, you know, why you got these girls on here? You know, so that's one thing. The second part of that is that once you have an opinion that is strong, and let's say a pro-black or pro-black and brown sentiment, if I come on and I speak very loudly and proudly about that, then you got some black people that, like you said, they'll agree with me in private, but they're not going to say something because they don't want to fuck up the money. They don't want to be controversial. They don't want to be messy. And I'm like, you know, this is like, we're talking about our livelihood and who we are as a people. Like, fuck being messy. Like, this shit is messy every day. So you just don't, you want to play nice and you want to inbox me your feelings, but you don't want to tweet about it, or you don't want to say it publicly on Facebook because you don't want to upset your white friends. You don't want to upset your conservative friends. It's like you've allowed yourself to be enslaved in so many ways, you know?
And the funny shit that I found out about that, I always, since the inception of anything that I've done, always spoke up for issues that was plaguing black people, the black community, and you know, the shit that we've been through, the shit that we currently go through. And I found now a little bit, some people are saying, yo, I feel you. I feel what you're saying. Yo, you're right. But it's very minuscule, the support. And I don't think black people know how to support each other without looking at it as dick riding or dick eating or just going too hard for each other. Mm-hmm. But when somebody of another race has a platform, they just flock to that shit, even if that platform doesn't do anything conducive to our needs and our wants. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I look and I'm not mad at, you know, I'm happy where I'm at in life because I work hard to even get where I'm at. But when I look and I say, damn, you know, all these so-called woke, conscious, righteous black people, why do I only have 50,000 subscribers? And I look at other channels and they got millions of subscribers and they never did anything or spoke up in any way for you. That's what's confusing.
It goes back to what you were saying. Like, people don't want to, maybe people just don't want to learn. They don't want to be told. Hey, I was just saying, like, listen, you know, there are some people that are ignorant, maybe not even willfully ignorant. Some people just don't know any better, and they cannot be brought and they cannot be taught. And I'm not necessarily going out of my way to try to feed and educate people that are just too dense and too obtuse to really get on board and get with the message. The people that I have a problem with are, like in this case, a Charlamagne. Charlamagne is somebody who is intelligent. He does know better. He should not be making statements like that. And I do not think they should be trolling at the expense of black women and black and brown women. I just don't think that's right. You know, I think someone like him especially does know better and should have done better. And that deeply offended me. Like I didn't even expect that from Charlamagne, you know, and I know that he likes to sort of professionally sort of like agitate people, but that kind of like hurt me, you know, it just is like, damn, like, why would you say something like that?
Now, but at this particular point, what I want to know from people a lot of times, because a lot of times people do shit, white people, our own people, all other well, it's not so many races, but different nationalities that don't identify themselves as being African American, you know, black people in America, they just do what the fuck they want to us. You know, you got Koreans Korean in the store, you got Arabs Arabin in the store, you got Yemenis in the corner stores. You know what I'm saying? They come into our community. You got the Chinese in. You know, they come into our communities, do and say what they want, and don't even add on to the community in no fucking way. But what I'm finding that there is no consequence. I seem like everybody just keeps talking about what's wrong, but nobody has come up with a clear solution. Right?
But
now,
you know
when the solution is come up with, because the only true solution is not to fuck with these people. But a motherfucker like, you crazy, I love fucking pork fried rice and chicken wings. I'm getting that shit. I don't give a fuck about that blackity black shit. But the minute something happens to them, then they want to be blackity black, or they want to be blackity black, hotepping for the conversation to seem intelligent on Facebook. Now, the point with Charlamagne, with these people in our communities, with these people, the Tomi Lahrens that, you know, pop shit about us and got little slick shit to say about us, what are we to do? What is the consequence for people wronging us? Because shit, it seemed like everybody could wrong us and there is no particular consequence. What should the consequence be?
Well, you know, white women are like the special little fucking star at the top of the Christmas tree. Like, they're supposedly very sacred people. They've always been treated and upheld like these dainty, like fragile porcelain dolls, you know? So a white woman, again, can spew the most racist and hateful stuff and is still looking at her like, you know, she's untouchable and like, you know, she's just someone that, you know, that is without flaws. And that's really what's dangerous about it. You know, it's not like, we're not talking about some greasy, you know, politician that's been in government for like 40 years or anything like that. We're talking about a 24-year-old white girl.
Not, you know? Yeah, it's not a Newt Gingrich or a fucking
no.
Yeah, and I think she's an agent in the sense of she's planted because by the standards of what people think beauty are, not myself, but the standards of what people think beauty is, she fits all that criteria of this beautiful Barbie woman, like you said. So she's easy on the eyes for all white men and a lot of black men. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at them, man, who the fuck is this bro? Because I don't fuck with white chicks in no form, fashion. Fuck them as a staff record label and a crew. You know what I'm saying? But I'm honest. You know, this is open. You know what I'm saying? My third eye is open to a lot of shit, and it seemed like our people got all the information right in our face, and we just do this. You know, because we're so easily distracted by, you know, what Little Yachty said or Orlando Brown bugging the fuck out on Raven Simone. I'm starting to believe that a lot of these other things, these distractions are planted. And I'm just trying to ask myself and ask the people, why are people gravitate towards that opposed to what's real right in your face? Because this is the conversation that me and you've been having, and I asked the question out to the public. I haven't met one person yet in person. Maybe they do it in hiding, but not in person. And I haven't seen one person on any of my social media accounts be pro-Trump. So how in the fuck was he elected president? Now, we know about the Electoral College. A lot of people don't know shit about it, but they want to talk about it to sound smart. But I'm just saying, people voted for him. Who are these people that voted for him? Because I'm starting to think that a lot of people spoke badly about Trump because it was the fad and the phase to do, but they secretly voted for him. Now, I'm not saying that you should have voted for Hillary either, because she's a fuck nigga too. I'm just saying that Trump is the president, and this man openly said and did racist shit, not even to black. He like offended everybody.
He's talking about building walls. He's out here calling people, you know, criminals, and it's just some craziness. Yeah,
getting the Muslims the fuck out of here, grabbing white women by the pussy, making statements like, I could go out in the fucking middle of the street and pull out a gun and shoot people and they'll still fucking elect me. And if I ever ran for president, I would be a Republican because Republicans are stupid.
Yeah, and you're looking at the history of his tweets and his statements, and it's like he basically trolled everybody.
But see, that goes back to, see how we tie all this shit in? What I'm saying is that it's the year of the troll. Like, if you notice, a lot of people who won or who are successful in certain things has this troll personality. Like, they're not really serious about anything. Everything is a fucking joke, and they're always like playing with shit. So my thing is this shit with Charlamagne like one troll going wrong, or does he not know any better? Because sometimes before you answer, sometimes I think we give people too much credit with thinking that they're intelligent, but they're really not intelligent. Some people sound smart to stupid people, but when they're around other smart people, you don't sound that smart. So do you think this is with Charlamagne, this is a troll going wrong, or he's really not, we giving him too much credit? What do you think?
I really do think, just from having I followed Charlamagne on Twitter for years, and I really do believe that this is a troll gone wrong. I don't think he really understood the magnitude and the impact of the statements that he was making. I think it was just sort of thought he threw something out into the ether, and I think that he thought it sounded right, but he didn't understand exactly what he was saying. Like, it's like, oh shit, you just offended every single Black person that's out there fighting basically for rights and fighting for social justice. That's just everything that you just did right now. So, not even just Black women.
But is he gonna get kicked off radio?
No, absolutely not.
Is people gonna stop booking him?
No, absolutely not.
Is people gonna unfollow him?
Absolutely. I didn't unfollow him.
So this is the point I'm making. So this is the point I'm making. People get to say and do whatever they want at the expense of us, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So what should be, this is not for you to answer, Coco, not for me to answer. I'm talking about the people collectively. What should be the consequence for people who misrepresent us and say shit that's offensive to us? Should we have like a fucking 3-strike system, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what should it be? Because I feel like right now,
like we need a drop squad.
Yeah, no, we're just so fucking expendable. People could say and do whatever they want about us, and it's a fucking uproar for 2-3 days, and then it's like, oh well, on the Breakfast Club they got Jay-Z, so let's forget about everything that Charlamagne might have said or did, or and I don't want to single him out, but the topic is about him. I think Black people are so forgiving. I think it's mainly because we have a soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a soul. You know what I'm saying? But when you offend these white people, man, they will never fucking forgive you. They never ever forgive you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are ostracized for life. But I look at people like Don Imus, who said nappy-headed hoes, and he got his career, taken away from him.
Yeah.
I look at Jimmy the Greek, who called the basketball players monkeys. He got his fucking career taken. And it was Black people vouching, saying they're not racist. But then you have this white woman. Is this like the year of coming into the year of the white woman? And I blame, honestly, who I really blame for the situation is I blame Black men, because Black men always coddle white women for some reason. Like, it's the King Kong effect. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the metaphor of King Kong, they say we look like gorillas. They liken us to gorillas. They went to fucking Africa and captured a fucking gorilla and brought him to New York City, the Empire State, and he loved this white woman. You know what I'm saying? He loved this fucking white woman. She was the only one that could tame him. And I think that's what we're looking at in America, but not knowing that this white woman don't give a fuck about us. And she openly said she doesn't give a fuck about us. So that's the confusing thing to me. So anything you want to say in closing?
I just want to say, stop dialoguing with people who are hateful and racist, and people who have nothing to offer you. You don't have to engage everybody. In fact, a lot of times, like what you'll find with me, like I find like there's like a sort of a Twitter effect. People on Twitter will go out of their way seeking out negativity so they can engage it. I'm not about to change this guy with the Confederate flag and pickup truck in the middle of Alabama's mind. I don't need to tweet him. You know, he's not part of my solution. So I'm not about to get involved with anything like that. I'm out here I'm talking about action, you know, activity, actually doing something, not getting involved in Twitter wars or like, you know, social media drama and things like that. Go out there and actually do something.
So, I mean, and you know, like you said, I don't want to escape this. As a Black woman, there is people who are actually coming to comments and be like, "Well, just tell Coco to shut the fuck up." Just like, why is she even? Why do you fuck? People sometimes want to know, like, why do you fuck with her, or why do you fuck with Black women? Like, you just had Black women on here talking, and they just was so fucking mad. Now, look. Even if you didn't know what you were talking about, now I know you personally. I know you're not a fool. I know, like I said, we do a lot of shit in jest, and we like to have a good time because we're not walking around like this all day. But we have done things in our community, you know, for our community and for our people. I put my fucking brand on the line. You know what I'm saying? To speak up for people. But I just find it amazing that it's so many people that are offended that you even have a fucking opinion and you're allowed to speak. But the white woman is on national TV, corporate sponsored, to speak bad about Black men, women, children. But as soon as a Black woman comes on my platform and says anything, niggas, Black people, the thugs, the super predators, the what's the other words I'm looking for?
When they talk about well, the other coded language like urban,
the urban dudes,
yeah,
they're like, Black woman, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if people realize that I surround myself with Black women. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny that all of y'all are dark as hell. I don't even know how that happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how that happened. But I surround myself with Black women because, you know, y'all are the mothers of the universe and y'all are the future of the world. You know what I'm saying? And you have to eventually raise the children a certain way. So I like to see what the hell y'all be thinking about and shit. And like I said, we do bug out and we have a good time, but I think this topic was very, very serious. And we're gonna cover some other stuff in a few, but that was really it. I think we should empower more Black women to speak up and get behind that.
Absolutely.
And champion that, opposed to saying, bitch, shut the fuck up, because it's the bitch shut the fuck up that allows these Tomi Lahren chicks to get the floor. So y'all need to, you know, y'all need to check yourself. So with that, I'm Doggie Diamonds. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. If you want to get every update as soon as the video is uploaded, you have to click the bell next to the subscribe button. Coco, give them your information.
I'm Coco. I'm at Coco Puff on all social media platforms. That's KOKUPUFF on Instagram, Twitter. I even have a Snapchat that I don't use often. And Facebook, I'm /Coco TV, KOKU TV.
All right, that's what it is. You know what I am. I'm at Doggie Diamonds on everything. Not fucking Dougie, not DOGGY. Spell it like my motherfucking hat. Doggie Diamonds. Doggie Diamonds TV is the official website IG. But if you want to follow me personally on Instagram or Twitter, it's Doggie Diamonds. They're not the TV. So, you know, that's what it is. So we out of here. We'll be back. We're going to cover some other topics and shit. We're going to get real. So we'll be right back. Peace.
I'm here all day. I got time.